Over the next few years, billions are expected to reshape the history of El Paso. Or you automatically assume that any of these are good or bad, I want to give you some of the major projects that are happening in El Paso. Over the next few years, billions are expected to reshape the history of El Paso. This is designed to happen through technology, infrastructure, housing, and entertainment. But before you automatically assume that any of these are good or bad, I want to give you some of the major projects that are happening in El Paso for you to give me your opinion and let me know if you think that these impacts are actually going to be beneficial or actually hurt El Paso. Now, I will say that I have a few in the list that personally I'm not fond of, but there are a few others that I'm really excited for, so let's get into it. Now, for years, El Paso has quietly lived in the shadow of Texas, which is, of course, where people sometimes think that Dallas, Austin, Houston is more of the place to go. But while those cities continue to make national headlines, something much quieter and potentially much more significant is happening here in West Texas. Over the next several years, billions of dollars are expected to be invested across El Paso. New technology, infrastructure, major logistic facilities, defense and aerospace expansion, entertainment venues, healthcare growth, downtown redevelopment, and entirely new communities are continuing to reshape the eastern side of the city. Now, here's a real question. What does this mean to you? And does a multi-billion-dollar project automatically increase your overall investment in El Paso? Will these developments create thousands of jobs that are going to be permanent? Or are some of the headlines creating expectations that don't actually match reality? Today, we're going to go beyond what the press releases are saying, and we're going to look at what these projects actually are, what they could mean for El Paso's economy, and how they impact housing demand, traffic infrastructure, and quality of life. Most importantly, the question that locals are asking is making sure that this information is actually going to give us the full picture. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Alexa. I'm a local real estate agent in El Paso. I have a team here and I'm also an investor. And the goal with these videos is to equip you with all of the information you need, whether you're thinking of relocating to El Paso or are thinking of making a move. This is something that I want to get your honest opinion from and tell me what you think is actually happening based on some of the things that we're going to discuss. Now, we help dozens of families relocate to El Paso, and my goal is to ensure that you have a full blueprint. So if that is something that you want to grab, go ahead and click the QR code that is going to appear on the screen so that you can actually get our relocation guide to ensure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Now, with that being said, let's get to the video. The largest and most debated project on the list that we're going to talk about today is Meta's AI Center. Now, this is going to be in the northeast of El Paso. The project is being developed on approximately 1,000 acres north of Stan Roberts Avenue and West US Highway 54. When Meta officially announced the project in 2025, the original investment was expected to be somewhere around $1.5 billion. Since then, Meta has dramatically increased the commitment. The company now says that it should be in the vicinity of $10 billion. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The facility is being designed to support Meta's AI, right? This is actually an infrastructure that could eventually reach a gigawatt of computing capacity. Now, just to put this into perspective, okay, it's not a normal office building, okay? This is essentially a massive digital infrastructure campus that is going to be filled with servers, cooling systems, electrical equipment, backup powers, and advanced networking technology. Now, this facility is expected to be fully operational in 2028. Meta says that the expected project could actually support more than anywhere between 1,800 to 4,000 construction jobs at its peak and around 300 permanent operational positions after. Now, here is where I want to just give my 2 cents. Again, having jobs that are going to last the duration of the actual development is not the equivalent to you actually creating job security in the market. If you actually read the article carefully, what they're saying is that they're averaging right now to only hold the job of anywhere between 100 to 300 people to operate this system. And come on, it's AI. So clearly AI right now has taken a ton of jobs that, they see as unnecessary. So of course, Facebook is going to do the same exact thing. So this is something that it's not necessarily the most impactful when it comes to job opportunities. This is really where $10 billion might sound like it's going to be amazing, but the data centers operate differently. They require enormous amounts of capital, construction, power, cooling equipment, and technology. Okay, now here's where we want to really pay attention to. It says the city has also said that regional companies involved in electrical systems, construction, server equipment, maintenance, cooling technology are expected to participate in the project. That creates economic activity beyond the people directly employed inside the data centers. Okay, so we could say that's slightly good, but as we continue to read, under the city's current framework, the full project could approximately be 1.5 million gallons of water per day, with a minimum permitted allocation of roughly 2.5 million gallons per day. The city estimates that the average consumption of a full build out would be comparable to daily water use of approximately 7,400 households. At the maximum allocation, it would be close to 12,000 households. And in a desert community, that is definitely something we want to pay attention to. Meta says that it plans to use water efficient cooling, match its electrical consumption with renewable energy, and support projects intended to restore more water than the facility consumes. But residents are still asking reasonable questions about the power that will come, and of course, what infrastructure will be required when, of course, the future costs continue to actually impact the consumers in the area. Now, the original agreement included an 80% city property tax rebate, with the combined city and county incentive estimating as much as $550 million across all phases of this project. Now, the project has also committed funding toward intersection of roadway improvements near Stan Roberts and US 54. Let me know your thoughts, right? Let me know what you think about this, because this is definitely a lot going on. Now, I will say from my own, perspective here, it just sounds like the math is not adding up, because overall, when you look at how much they're going to consume and you compare it to how much they're actually giving back to the overall economy in the area, and then you think about the tax incentive that they're getting, and I get it, right? Like, this is the way that the city is incentivizing a company to come and work here. But ultimately, it is not something that it's going to be necessarily lucrative for the next 35 years. That is where the tax break is going to actually end. And overall, if you think about it, this is something that a lot of people are protesting right now. A lot of people are not happy about. So I want to hear your perspective. Now, number 2, it is something that, again, some people love, some people hate. I am kind of neutral on this one, but Amazon West El Paso delivery station. So the second development is actually going to be for the Amazon in West El Paso. This is actually over by the Cimarron area. So we've talked about that in this channel. It's closer to the new west side. There already is one out in Horizon that's been there for roughly about 4 years. Now, this new project project is roughly around 51 million, and it's actually covering around 160,000 square feet near Interstate 10 and West Town Marketplace. Now, it's important to understand that this is not another massive fulfillment center like the 5-story Amazon facility that is opened out in East El Paso. This was around 2021 when it opened in Horizon. This is the last mile delivery station. Packages arrive here from larger fulfillment and sorting centers. They are then organized by zip code, loaded into a delivery van, and sent directly to the surrounding neighborhoods. So for consumers, that can mean faster and more efficient deliveries. For the regional economy, it reinforces El Paso's position as a logistical hub between major markets such as Phoenix, Dallas, San Antonio, and northern Mexico. Now, it can also create warehouse management, maintenance, delivery, and contractor opportunities, which can be very good for the economy. But like every other project in this video that we're talking about, there's obviously the con side, right? Residents and city officials have raised concerns about additional traffic around Paseo del Norte and West Town. A last mile facility means vans entering and leaving the property throughout the day, of course. It can also mean more commercial activity near residential areas, which is something a lot of people aren't happy about. And of course, as Amazon continues using robotics, route technology, and automated sorting systems, it's important not to make assumptions about permanent employment based only on the size of the building. Something that overall some people are happy about, some people are not too fond of. Now, I will say, like, this is coming from somebody that has already invested in an area that has an Amazon. I've mentioned to you guys, I personally love Horizon. I love the West Side as well, but Horizon is kind of where like one of my first investments started happening. And actually my Airbnb is about maybe like 10 minutes away from where the Amazon warehouse is currently. And personally, it has not created any issues. It actually has like a separate entrance. Now, I will say some of the truck drivers don't do what they should be doing and going through the other entrance, but for the majority, because it's so narrow, a lot of them actually end up going through the route that they should, and it's never become an issue. So overall, in the Cimarron area, I'm hoping that it's the same thing so that people that are thinking of purchasing in that area don't get affected, or even some of my clients that have already purchased. Now, El Paso's aerospace and defense expansion is another thing that we want to talk about. One of El Paso's most important growth stories is not receiving nearly as much attention as Meta and Amazon. The story is actually geared around aerospace, defense, and advanced manufacturing. And this is really where Fort Bliss has been one of the foundations of El Paso's economy for generations. Military families rotate into the city, defense contractors relocate, employ here, and overall engineers, healthcare workers, logistic professionals, and support personnel move into the region because of military activity. Now, the aerospace story is expanding beyond the installation itself. So in April of 2025, the University of Texas at El Paso, which is UTEP, opened the new Advanced Manufacturing and Aerospace Center. This facility represents an investment of approximately $80 million and includes roughly 98,000 square feet of research and education space. Now, some of the key takeaways here is that it's going to create stable industries that, of course, can create more stable housing demand. Military personnel continue relocating in and out of El Paso. Defense contractors need short-term and long-term housing. Students, of course, and researchers need places to live. Engineers and technical employees may relocate into the city. Now, again, there's some people that are not giving this the recognition that honestly it deserves. When I was doing some research for this video, I was pleasantly surprised about that because I have family members that are engineers. Actually, one of my assistants is currently in the aerospace field, and I just believe that El Paso has been in the dark ages for it has always been seen that way, okay? Like, I'll just be real with you. Paso has adopted the overall growth in a very different way. So seeing some of these projects happening as a local, as a native here, I personally really love that, because maybe there's more, you know, kids that are also going to avoid going to different cities just because of the programs that they have out there, and actually staying home and continuing to grow in the community. Now let's get into number 4, downtown redevelopment. So one of my favorite changes happening in El Paso is the effort to bring downtown to life. The Plaza Theater is an excellent example of what can happen when the city protects its history. Now, the current downtown story is much bigger than just the building. So after the proposed multi-purpose arena was canceled, the city shifted its strategy for Union Plaza. It really means taking existing buildings and creating housing, restaurant, retail, entertainment, public space, and other productive uses without removing the area's architectural identity. Now, here's where it gets pretty cool. They're actually planning to do a 6.5 acre of public space above the Interstate 10 as the highway is reconstructed through downtown. The park would reconnect areas that were divided by the freeway and could include green space, pedestrian connections, community areas, and public programming. In April 2026, the city of El Paso actually mentioned that the Downtown Deck Plaza Foundation entered into a partnership agreement supporting that project. Now, this is something that I'm also really excited about, because I know some people are like, what's the point of a park? We don't need it. But yeah, once we have it, you're gonna see people there enjoying it. Now, the process of building that park, I can just already imagine how much of a hassle it's going to be to drive around that area. I'm probably going to avoid going down I-10 for a while, and I'm just going to go down the 375 because it's going to be crazy. But overall, it's something that I'm really excited to see come into fruition. So definitely looking forward to that. Now, this next one, like I mentioned, it's something that I really think that El Paso needs. So when it comes to the amphitheater, so let's get to it. When it comes to this, it's going to actually be designed to hold approximately 12,500 people and attract nationally recognized artists. This is really where it gets exciting, because it is being designed to actually hold somewhere close to 12,500 people, and it is actually going to be programmed to roughly have about 40 events per year, which is pretty cool. A lot of people sometimes say like there's nothing to do in El Paso, and I rather go to other cities because there's concerts over there. So the fact that we're getting an actual place where artists are going to be able to come and perform is actually pretty exciting. When the amphitheater was originally announced, it was approximately estimated to cost somewhere in the vicinity of $100 million and open by 2026. Now the timeline has actually changed. As of June 2026, the estimated project has actually increased to more than $160 million and is anticipating to open around fall of 2027. Now, for Northeast El Paso, the amphitheater could improve a lot, okay? Because overall, it's going to encourage more development to happen in the area, more entertainment, restaurants, commercial development, hotels. So this could actually improve the quality of life and make it more attractive to some residents. But living near a concert venue obviously doesn't necessarily automatically mean something positive. This is really where you have to decide if that is something for you. There's a lot of people that maybe they don't want to deal with the fact that they're close proximity to, you know, this traffic that could be caused by it. But overall, again, this is where you have to take the good with the bad. If you go to New York, you know, you love going to the opera house, but you know that traffic is just a thing, right? And no, I'm not comparing New York to El Paso. What I'm saying is that the traffic that you're going to be dealing with, it's something that you're going to experience everywhere. I will say though, El Paso does not come close to some of the other areas, which is why I personally love the fact that we're starting to grow and we're going to see a lot more infrastructure that is going to help us overall bring more talent to our city. The last thing we're going to talk about is the healthcare expansion and border trade. The final transformation that we're getting into today is really a big one, because in November of 2024, El Paso County voters approved a close to $400 million bond for University Medical Center. This funding includes approximately $207 million to expand healthcare services and clinics, and another roughly $134 million is intended to improve the main hospitals. So that's approximately $24 million that is going to be allocated toward a burn center and critical care services, and another $30 million is planned for the comprehensive cancer center development in partnership with Texas Tech Health El Paso. Texas Tech Health El Paso has also estimated that its annual regional economic contribution has grown to more than $864 million. Its operations, employees, students, research, and related activities are estimated to support more than 4,500 regional jobs. Healthcare matters for employment, of course, but also just for us to be able to take care of the people that are already living here that need some of these services. Families thinking about relocating really want to know, if they can find a good pediatric care specialist, emergency services, primary care doctors. This is something that really is going to impact things in a positive way. This is a thing that we're seeing with a lot of our clients. They're really excited about some of the developments that are happening in El Paso. And overall, when it comes down to it, again, I am of the belief that you should focus on what you can control. If there's certain things that you don't like, as I've said before, maybe you don't necessarily think El Paso is for you. But if you are interested in an area that still has opportunities for you to get in the ground, where prices are still affordable for a lot of things, honestly, because I've compared other cities and we're still one of the most affordable cities in the Texas region. So when it comes down to relocating to El Paso, I hope this video was educational for you guys. I did a lot of research to make sure that I could share some of the 7 major changes that are happening in the area. And I would love to hear your feedback to see what you think. Are these positive? Are these negative? What would you encourage our local city to actually do differently and ensure that overall El Paso continues to keep its charm that it's had for many years? So with that, thank you for hanging out with me. And if you do have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. I will see you on the next one.